Here are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. So this picture is coming from a car crash that happened in 1984, where 4 teenagers were on their way to a concert when something happened and they crashed into trees, causing the boy in the passenger seat to pass away upon impact. So the officers arrived and this boy was unfortunately still pinned in this car, deceased, when they decided to take photos. And upon reviewing the photos, at first they noticed different red and white light anomalies, but a few photos in, they saw this screaming face. And this is what they believe to be the screaming face of that boy who passed away. And I'll put a photo of the face next to the boy's picture and you can see the likeness is unreal. And the police officer that took these photos later on took them to an expert who could not debunk them as being anything other than paranormal. And when he took them to a psychic, the psychic said she believes this is a photo of the boy's soul leaving his body. This has to be one of the craziest and most clear paranormal pictures I have ever seen. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this really is the soul of that boy leaving his body? Or do you think it's something else? Let me know. Here are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. First, we have a picture that the original poster's aunt took sometime between 2007 and 2010, when she was around 12 or 13 years old. And according to the OP, this was taken on an old flip phone. So the person who posted this on Reddit also came back to say that this has been proven to be an authentic picture by ITV. And the story of this house is apparently there was a little girl who was ran over and unalived, so they believe this might be that little girl. Next, we have a picture somebody took of their back door at 3:34 in the morning. And when this is zoomed in, it looks a lot like the head of a skeleton. Like you can see the eye sockets and everything. So freaky. And finally, we have a face in a window from a home that was built in 1875. Possibly multiple faces? So what do you think? Do you think this is an actual face? Do you think it's a case of pareidolia? Let me know. Here are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. First, we have a photo that the OP says was taken in 2013 and that they are still dumbfounded by this photo. They add in for context that when they were 15 years old, their twin sister self-inflicted unalived herself. So the OP says they had just received this phone and they were playing around with the different settings of the phone, taking pictures of their dog, and they started playing around with the setting sepia. So they took this picture of their dog and upon reflecting later, saw what appears to be a picture of her deceased sister's face in the background. Next, we have a picture taken from the security cameras of an abandoned prison. So our original poster went there to ghost hunt and was sent this photo by the current owner of the prison. And the owner sent them this picture as a warning as to what could be inside the prison or out in the woods waiting for them. And the scariest part of this all is they believe this is an actual person living in the woods outside of this prison. Nope. And finally, we have a picture taken at the Eisenhower Bridge in Gettysburg. So the original poster was taking a series of photos while ghost hunting, and that's when they happened upon this picture. She said shortly after taking this photo, they heard crunching and walking in the woods next to them and decided it was time to get the hell out of there. Because what do we always say is scarier than a ghost? A real person. Here are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. This first one takes place in the original poster's office that happens to be on the second floor of their home. And there are no porches or anything that this creature or entity could be standing on. So apparently they were trying to take a picture of the wallpaper of their computer, and that's when they captured this anomaly that appears to be floating in mid-air. I don't like it. Next we have a picture somebody took while they were walking around a graveyard. This appears to be some kind of ghost that's wearing a robe or a jacket. And if this is truly paranormal, what an amazing photo. And finally, we have a shadow figure coming from one of my favorite paranormal places, and that is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And surprisingly enough, this picture was actually taken off of the Facebook page for the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. So I wonder if they even noticed it. Like, how can you not notice that? Here are some of the scariest photos I've seen on Reddit today. First, we have a picture of Hell's Bridge coming from Algoma Township, Michigan. And this is where, allegedly in the 1800s, a man who was tasked with babysitting some children ended their life. And because of that, he was hanged from this bridge. So in the first photo, you can see Hell's Bridge itself. Next photo, you'll see a rope that came up out of the water when they were taking pictures. And finally, a very ominous picture from inside of the woods where it appears many eyes are staring back at our original poster. Next, we have some haunted dolls that allegedly move on their own. And the only thing that calms them down is a Bible verse. And I've got to say, these are some of the creepiest dolls I think I have ever seen. And finally, we have a picture somebody took of their granddaughter that happens to have something absolutely terrifying in the background. What the heck is that? Our original poster says this photo still gives them the creeps, and I totally agree. Like, this is super freaking creepy. These are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. First, we have a picture somebody's ex-girlfriend sent to their family chat to let them know they made it to their hotel safely. And someone quickly replied to them, "Who is in the mirror?" And I have the same question. Who the heck is in the mirror? Next, we have a picture of somebody's sleep paralysis demon. What the heck is that? The original poster said they woke up to this creature at the end of their bed staring at them. And finally, we have a picture coming from somebody's security camera of what they hope and pray is their neighbor. But they're pretty darn sure that it's not their neighbor. So of course, this would be super cool if they caught something paranormal, but even more scary, is this a real person you caught standing outside of your house at night? So creepy. These are some of the scariest pictures I've seen on Reddit today. First, we have a picture coming off a child's baby monitor. The original poster said they woke up hearing their child babbling, and this is what they saw when they looked at the camera. They said they went into the room after seeing this expecting there to be someone there, and there was not one person there. And this was the scaredest they had ever been inside of their own home, which is totally understandable because not only is there someone in your house, but they're messing with your baby. Next, we have a group photo that is the definition of when you see it. Because holy crap, when you see it. And don't worry, I'll point it out to you so you definitely see it. What in the ring, grudge, kind of creepy, scary looking girl is that? And finally, to go along with the theme of when you see it, we have a absolutely terrifying picture coming from somebody's bedroom door. And this appears to be one of my least favorite of all entities, and that is the look around or peek around. That is complete and total nightmare fuel. But what do you guys think? Have you seen any of these photos before? Do you think any of these photos are actually real? Let me know.